Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 4th of May going through until Sunday the 10th of May 2020. It's a pleasure to be with you today again for our weekly astrological weather report. Welcome to the channel if this is your first time watching one of my videos. This weekly horoscope is for all signs of the zodiac. It's for everybody who watches, and I look at each day. I give you a day-by-day rundown, and I look at what relationships the planets form with one another up in the sky, as above, so below, how that impacts us here down on planet Earth. So I'm going to give you a day-by-day rundown. Also, just bear in mind that I use UK time. So, for instance, if there's a full moon at 2 a.m. UK time, then that would be 9 p.m. for you if you're on the East Coast. So just, the energies are gradual anyway, so don't get too hung up on it. But if you really want to know exactly to the minute, it's based on UK time. Okay, so Monday the 4th of May, we've got the moon going into Libra at 11 minutes past 7 in the morning. What I noticed when I was looking at the week, the moon moves at 7:11 on Monday, then at 7:06 on Wednesday, and 7:16 on Friday. So I noticed number patterns like that. 777 is about, you have control. It's mind and perspective and control over what it is you think, and being able to articulate that or create it in some sort of, yeah, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, if you're a painter, that's a really great energy for the whole week pretty much. Okay, so the moon in Libra in itself makes you very, very diplomatic and very considerate of others. You feel comfortable around other people, so throw a party. The Taurus sun sits right on top of Mercury in Taurus, so the identity is all about communicating things in a practical, earthy way. And the Libra moon, Libra, by the way, is Taurus's cousin, so to speak. They're both, or brother, they're both ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. So the fact that they're doing so much here, there's love behind all of it. Okay, so it'll feel loving in a way. The moon in Libra kind of cushions the day into this lovely energy. So the sun and Taurus Mercury, and then the Libra moon oppose Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. Excuse me. Wounded healer. And often when you go in that direction of Chiron, that's where the ego tries and gets you to sabotage you and make things go awry. So on Monday, you have to pay attention, but it's one of the best days of the year to create a new business because of all this Venus energy about loving something and taking something that you love and adore and putting it out into the world. That's what this day is all about. It's amazing. Communication is excellent. You're on top of your existing circumstances and you see the bigger picture. You're able to discover new opportunities. If a business partner or an idea or an investor show up today, don't ignore that. It's one of the best days of the year to create this empire if you want to build it. Now, Venus doesn't go retrograde every year, and Venus retrograde is a time when I tell people don't, if you can possibly, try and avoid getting into a new relationship, or don't buy the house during a Venus retrograde, because you see things differently. Now we had 777, mind and creativity. Your perspective is Venus is moving forward, and it's about finding love and taking the love that you have inside of you and making it real. So all those things that I advise you not to do during a Venus retrograde are highlighted in exactly the other way on Monday, the 4th of May. So it starts a new relationship, start a new business, anything you love, do something with it, tweak it, create it, be inspired, all systems go. So it's a fab start to the week. Tuesday, the 5th of May, we still got the moon in Libra, so nice, balanced and considerate. It pretty much connects with every other heavenly body in the sky in some way. But what I noticed particularly was that it trines Venus, so it makes friends with the love planet in Gemini, communication sign. And it also trines Mars, the masculine, in Aquarius. So Mars, male, and Venus, female, come together, and they're both in air signs, so they understand each other very well. So there's real lovely balance on Tuesday. You will find that on Tuesday you can be incredibly diplomatic, and if you're someone who sometimes finds it difficult to say what you mean, like for instance, if I want to do something really complex and I want to explain one of my really interesting, not so much interesting, complicated hangouts, like if I tried to do that in German, it would be much harder than in English. So if you're bilingual, or if you're multilingual, or if you just speak the one language, you'll be able to, I don't know where the vocab comes from, but you'll be able to remember things that really allow you to get your point across. Other people get their point across by drawing or shouting or performing. If you struggle to get that part of yourself out there, you're going to be incredibly good at getting your point across so that other people can understand you in a crystal clear way. There's no room for miscommunication today. So again, I would say new relationships, new businesses. It's also a great day for interviews, first or second dates, signing contracts, doing business deals, negotiating. Amazing. So Monday, Tuesdays are, these are cash days. These are really days where you can do big business. Amazing. Wednesday, the 6th of May, the moon moves into Scorpio at 6 minutes past 7 in the morning again. Moon in Scorpio is always looks at things in a deeper way. And it's aligned with 7 because the mind and the focus is now on the things that are hidden and that are underneath the surface. The Scorpio moon also squares Saturn in Aquarius. A square with Saturn is like the head teacher of the chart. Saturn is are we on track or not? It's kind of the operations manager, okay? And in Aquarius, it's very switched on. And the Scorpio moon, your feelings and all your perspectives and all your dreams and desires and stuff, tiny little moon comes up against Saturn in Aquarius, and it's like, what do you want? And it's like, oh, I have these little dreams, and it's like, okay, take them somewhere else. It's really kind of brutal. Saturn in Aquarius says, is there an investment here? Is this gonna work? No. If it doesn't work, bye-bye. If it does work, yes, we'll invest. It's not brutal and heartless, it's just very matter of fact. Matter of fact means Scorpio moon, which is totally a subjective way of feeling the world, looking at the world. So expect some problems there. That's clashing, okay? The Scorpio moon also opposes Chiron in Taurus, that's good. And it forms a quincunx, a positive relationship with the moon, so that it's really likely that you don't get hurt on this day. But it's more complicated than the first 2 days. For Wednesday the 6th, I would say the day's energy, it feels more inward looking, and you may even feel reflective and take stock of the week so far. Remember to be kind to yourself, and I know it's such a cliche at this stage, but loving yourself despite your flaws is a life work. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's something that sometimes you take 5 steps forward and 2 steps back, and sometimes you take 1 step forward and 5 steps back. It's not like I love myself and that's it. It's an ongoing process. You have a relationship with yourself every day that evolves and grows. So you have achieved so much great stuff on Monday the Tuesday. You have the potential to really do business and take relationships to the next level. It kind of feels weird on Wednesday. It's almost like the brakes are being put on and you're forced to kind of like say, okay, I'm reflecting now instead of doing. So the pace is awkward. It kind of abruptly says, slow down. So brace yourself for Wednesday for there to be some sort of segue. You'll feel kind of a shift in the energy. Loving yourself is a lifetime work, but today you can really make progress. I mean, there's certain moments in my meditation over the last 10 years that I really remember because they were life-changing internally. And in my experience, the most life-changing thoughts happen in seconds, milliseconds. And just because that one thought is there, everything changes. It's amazing. On Thursday, the 7th of May, we have a full moon in Scorpio at 10:46 in the morning. So I'm going to make a separate video on the full moon in Scorpio, just to give you more details. I'll read the chart of the full moon for you. Full moon happens every month. It's when the moon is totally illuminated and it gives us lots of its energy. It lets go. And it's in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is about really getting in touch with feelings. And it happens in the morning. So on Thursday the 7th, hidden secrets will come to the surface. There may be scandals. There may be a scandal globally. Things that have been complicated and incomprehensible will start to make sense on Thursday the 7th. So there may be some sort of discovery or some news that makes things clearer and we take the next step. Because these hidden secrets come to the surface, you'll get a sense of power and control. You're able to end one thing to make room for another. Anyone who struggles with asserting themselves, or anyone who's kind of frightened to rock the boat with other people, you'll be able to step into the light today and to be done with something negative for good. You're able to really let go of something. The Saturn in Aquarius fact focus really gives you the ability to say, okay, I have been with you for 6 years. The pros are this long, the cons are this long. I am not even going to get into a discussion about it. I know I need to leave. I just haven't done it before. Today is the day where I actually pack my bags and go. If you're in a relationship that no longer serves you, the hidden secrets will be intolerable, because if you discover something that really changes the nature of your relationship, or it gives you inspiration to do something else, whatever it may be. I mean, a hidden secret, it could be 1,000 things, right? So the good news is that once you get the news, the great thing is that you have control over it and you're able to take your power back and say, this is what I'm doing and this is what I no longer need. So it's sorting the good from the bad. So the full moon, think of it as putting a torch on your inner kind of sorting system of what's good in your life and what's bad in your life, and sort through that and let the bad go. With the full moon, kind of watch it just flow away in a river. It's beautiful energy on Thursday. It's a really fun day. Friday the 8th of May, we have the moon going into Sagittarius at 16 minutes past 7 in the morning. The Sagittarius moon then forms a trine with another centaur, half horse, half man, Chiron in Aries, which is the wounded healer. The moon in Sag, you'll feel much more adventurous, but because the moon trines the wounded healer, your adventures may cause you some wounds. The moon also quincunxes, so it's friendly with Uranus and Taurus, and sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, so friendly with the unexpected in a physical, tangible way, and really wanting to make sure that things are matter of fact, that they make sense, that things are logical and are the way they're supposed to be. Rules. So on Friday the 8th, try not to overextend yourself. Keep things simple. Focus on one thing at a time. And don't expect yourself to be Superman or Superwoman, okay? Making yourself vulnerable today and opening up about your feelings to someone you don't know very well, this is not the day to take that kind of a risk. Because sometimes you take that kind of a risk in a new friendship. You're like, oh, this person, I really want them to be part of my life and future. So that's how people bond, right? They reveal things about themselves. Friday is not the day to do that. There is the potential to have your heart trampled on if you don't pay attention and if you give it away too freely. So I'm not saying that you need to kind of, shut yourself away on Friday, but keep things simple. Remember that it's your Friday as well. You want to have a nice day, and making yourself vulnerable is a good thing that gives you strength. So choose who you do that with. So if it's with someone new, there's a potential for things to go south, okay? But if you do want to speak to someone and you're a Catholic and you trust your local priest, or you're in recovery and you have a sponsor, or if you have a therapist who you can call, who you trust, it's a really fab day to let something go again. That's the theme. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Scorpio is about letting go of those dark feelings, the taboo stuff, you know? The skeletons in the closet, the stuff no one wants to look at. So again, globally, I mean, astrology, what I do is astrology for people, okay? Astrology for the world and world events is called mundane astrology. I don't do a lot of mundane astrology, but sometimes it slips in just because of the energy. So we've had information coming in. So on Friday as well, there'll be something new that you now know, which changes your perspective and what you're doing. On Saturday, the 9th of May, Mercury, still in Taurus, makes friends with Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's sitting in the sign of the worker, and they make friends. So Mercury in Taurus says, I want to work in a practical sense and I want to think in a practical way. And Pluto says, this is the time for transformation in a physical way, working way, daily routine way, your physical health way. It's really the start of something totally new. It's awesome. The Sagittarius Moon also opposes Venus in Gemini on that day. And the Sagittarius Moon is still giving you that sense of, I need to expand and do everything and I'm fired up. Again, try and keep it simple. It opposes the love planet in Gemini, so it's at odds. So if you're going galloping around, you're not going to love it in terms of how your day goes, or it's just an off energy in terms of relationships. The moon also squares Neptune in Pisces, so there's this fog coming in, the water planet, and it's sextile, so it makes friends with Mars, the butch planet, in Aquarius, okay? So the moon wants to gallop, then Venus says, hello, I'm talking. Neptune's like, ooh, fog. So you're like hearing a voice in the fog. And then Mars in Aquarius is like, hey, let's go and do it. And you're like, So it could be somewhat confusing. Don't expect, excuse me, disgraceful. If you try, sometimes when you're in a relationship, you expect your partner to know certain things about you once you've been with them for a couple of years, right? Like if they know that it irritates you when you meet new people and you forget to introduce them, your partner forgets to introduce you, when you always introduce him or her when you meet new people, and you've brought it up over and over and over again, and it still doesn't work, that is something that you're going to find a disappointment on this day. If you try and change that with all these energies opposing each other, you're just going to create conflict, okay? Also, if you try and get someone like that to read your mind, like he should know that about me or she should know that about me by now, you're gonna have a major disappointment in store for you today, because people are not mind readers. A lot of people say, oh, you know, we could have just ended this argument if you put yourself in my shoes for a little bit, and if you just said, hey, I don't agree with what you just said, and that would have been the end of it. People always say that kind of stuff in hindsight, but in the moment they're like totally shut down. You can't say anything to them. And if you have that kind of expectation, as in, she ought to know better, or he should get me the stuff from the pharmacy every Friday. He knows. Why has he forgotten it again? That kind of, you see, like that kind of pushy energy, that drives other people away. So make a deliberate attempt on Saturday to ask yourself, what is it that I want to do today? What is it that makes me happy? Because you're focusing on everyone else except you. There's a lot of male energy in the day. So it's great for anyone who's into sports, baseball, skating, tennis, swimming, basketball. You'll want a lot of action and less talking on Saturday. You'll want to get things done. So don't ask for permission, or don't expect someone to say something lovely to you, or don't expect someone to just, this is how we do it and why did you let me down again? All of that doesn't matter. Like, what I noticed, by the way, I was in a relationship for 8 years, and you know, in a relationship you don't change the other person, you accept the person as they are, right? But you make little tweaks. So if something really irritates you, like it's always messy in the kitchen or something, and you mention that, and over time you kind of train each other to avoid certain behaviors that get on the nerves of the other person. You'll feel proud that you made this wonderful contribution to that person's life. I bet you, when you go back a year later, the person will have regressed to who they are. And that's why don't bother today, and instead ask yourself, what makes me happy? Because this male energy only allows for me to push. It doesn't allow for anything else. So use it to work up a sweat if you're into sports, and take action. So go for a run, or plan something. Do something you enjoy. Finally, on Sunday, the 10th of May, we have the moon going into Capricorn at the end of the week here at 9:40 in the morning. Although the moon's changing in the morning, early bird catches the worm. It's a great week for action. I love it. And at the beginning especially, then to let things go. It's really good. Saturn also goes retrograde on Sunday the 10th until September. Saturn, like I said, is structure and security, and Saturn return is one of the most important things that happens in life. It happens 3 times between the ages of 28 and 29 and a half, 56 and 58, and 84 and 86. And when Saturn returns, it's kind of like, okay, let's do a life review. Are you on track or not? Because Saturn knows what you're supposed to do, what your life purpose is and your vocational aptitudes. And if you're totally off track, then Saturn's gonna implode things for you and force you to get back on track. So it can be really uncomfortable, but in the long run, when you align yourself with Saturn, you can have no better foundation. And when Saturn goes retrograde, you start to look at what you've done in the last couple of months, you learn from it, and you implement those lessons to become more practical. It's really good. So it's a lovely end to the week. The Saturn retrograde really allows you to take stock of the last few months and to really find some meaning in them, to squeeze meaning out of it for yourself. This isn't just a random thing that happened. It really showed you something about yourself. It revealed something about other people, especially in the middle of the week, or yourself, or some sort of spiritual door has opened for you. So there's really a shift of energy in the sense that one chapter really closes and a new one opens. That's how intense the Sunday is going to feel. It's like, okay, that was that stage and I'm done with that now, and I'm moving on to the next stage. It's really a day of I'm shaking off the burdens and I'm ready to go again. It's a Control-Alt-Delete. It's great. So you're not burdened, you're full of zest, and it's the excitement of the new chapter, what's going to happen now? Think of that as well in terms of your life, that you're being given something new today, okay? Some sort of spiritual gift. And if you ask yourself, how can I use this to make my future more positive in a practical sense, either through work or connections with friends or physical health or where you live, what you do for work? Really, everything is up for grabs when Taurus is around. And Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, goes retrograde. So you're really able to pat yourself on the back and be proud of yourself. And you need to be proud of yourself. Even if on Sunday you feel like you've really messed up this week, which you won't, and you give yourself such a hard time for justified things like you crashed the car and then don't even do that. Be nice to yourself, because the week is all about you taking your ideas and putting them into practice, growing from that and being confident. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you've got these hidden secrets coming out and you can make space and let go. And then on the weekend, you're really able to please yourself and to look within and to realize that the last few weeks and months haven't been meaningless. It's like squeezing blood out of a stone. You've done it. You squeeze and you finally get that one drop and you understand, oh, I learned this about myself during the last couple of months. And I'm going to remember it. So it's like you've upgraded a level in life. So that's what I get for you for the week. I hope you have a lovely time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. And at the moment, because we have this situation going on, I am doing a 25% discount. So a quarter off all emergency and urgent readings. So have a look at the website. Certain readings are discounted because of what's going on. Yeah, if you want to order your reading, please do it there on gregoryscott.com. If you like the video, then please hit subscribe. Share it online, and check out the video on the full moon. I'll go into more detail. And if you're into the tarot or the horoscopes for each sign of the zodiac, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, then look at the horoscopes for May for your sign. They're up already. Or they should be up already, but they are. Okay, have a look at those. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you next week.